This is DRF Race of the Day. Hi, everybody. Dan Illman and Mike Beer, the DRF Race of the Day for Thursday, March the 25th, race number 7 at Aqueduct. Let's throw up the field for the feature race on the afternoon. It's an entry-level allowance with an $82,000 purse for fillies and mares 3-year-olds and up. You can download free formulator past performances for this race on the Race of the Day event page at drf.com. Access them and handicap along with us. Mike, I think there's the potential for this pace to heat up a little bit, and maybe that could help the 2 Glass Ceiling, who likes to come from mid-pack or thereabouts.
Yeah, Glass Ceiling's your morning line favorite. I guess she's the horse to beat, Dan. She certainly fits in this field. Hasn't won a race in quite a while. But I kind of agree with you. I felt like there could be more pace than perhaps Timeform US suggests there will be.
Well, let's throw up the pace projector. They do have the 7 Dial Me Up, who is a fast horse out on the lead. The 1 Buyer's Remorse has been on the lead after the first call in her last 4 races. The 8 the 8, she's a black belt, seems to me, though, like more of a stalker. It'll be interesting to see if anyone else can push the pace. I think Freedom Passage can be close.
Yeah, I thought Freedom Passage could show some speed. And certainly, I felt like Buyer's Remorse was going to go forward. And here we'll see if she's fast enough to keep up with Dial Me Up.
Risk Model also has some early pace. Buyer's Remorse is making her first start off the Tom Worley claim. She was the beaten favorite last time out, but it was over a muddy track, and 2 back she might have found a mile too far. If you can just simply blot those races from your mind, she won 2 in a row prior to that.
She did. I mean, I don't think she's impossible in here, Dan, especially if Benji Hernandez gets aggressive from the rail and just sends her. She's run a couple of good races. It does sort of feel like, stepping her back up here to this 1X condition is probably asking a lot of her. She feels like more of a claiming type. The race 2 back, you're right. When they tried this level, the mile was probably too far, but man, that was a pretty slow pace she was on, and she was still no match in there.
Let's watch Glass Ceiling's most recent effort, a runner-up for this level with an 82 Buyer. I thought Trevor McCarthy gave her a nice ride, dropped in to save ground in behind the pace-setting winner on the backstretch, came out on the turns, going to try hard to finish second. That Buyer's speed figure certainly exceeds the par for this level. She is a logical contender. I'm not in love with her, but she fits.
Yeah, I mean, she just makes a lot of sense in this race. The horse that she's chasing home here, Invaluable, is just in really, really good form and would certainly be favored against this field as well. Glass Ceiling ran fine to be second to her in there, Dan. I won't be surprised when she wins this race. I'm just not that much of a fan of hers. To me, she's had her chances in several of these races since Cantor Massey claimed her, and she's run fine, but there are no excuses for her. She's just not good enough.
Freedom Passage, the number 3. Her owner-trainer's pretty sharp when shipping horses into New York, Parks-based Mike Moore. Let's watch Freedom Passage's most recent race, a $25,000 starter where I thought she got a really nice trip. She's sitting on the outside right now. She's going to wear these horses down. She needs a Buyer boost, however, to take on the likes of the morning line favorite.
Yeah, she's going to have to run a faster race. She prevails here. The horse right to her inside there, the 6 Customer Experience, is also back in this field. I felt like, Dan, based on this race, there's very little to choose between those 2 horses. I thought Freedom Passage got a perfect trip in there, and maybe Customer Experience did a little bit more work and wound up settling for third. So overall, I would just prefer to have that horse than Freedom Passage in here.
Elegant Zip was wide last time out, caught a wet track, and I don't think she really cared for either one of those 2 circumstances. Throw that race out, you're left with a couple of very competitive starts, especially that race 2 back.
Yeah, she ran well in that race. She ran well off the layoff, too. Dave Donk dropped her off the layoff to get that win, Dan. It sort of feels like when you start going through her PPs, it was just a way overdue win for a filly who maybe had been disappointing in her career. But, man, if you start picking her form apart, there was a lot of turf last year, which doesn't seem like her best surface. Prior to that, a bunch of stakes races on the dirt that I just think were too tough for her. And they also tried to go long with her. And to me, she's just way better sprinting. All that added up to 2 wins off the layoff earlier this year. I thought she ran really well in both of those races, and I would be willing to give her a bounce back chance in here off that wet track last time.
The 5 Customer Experience was 3rd in the Freedom Passage race that we just saw, disappointing as the even money favorite. She's now lost as the favorite in 2 of her last 3 races, but she has plenty of figures that make her a contender, especially if this pace is fast.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just thought she was a horse that made a lot of sense in this race. I thought she probably ran better than Freedom Passage last time, even though she didn't get the job done. I liked her effort 2 starts back when she couldn't get to Maiden Beauty. I thought she ran well in there. And, since Rudy's taken her, her figures are right in line with this field.
Risk Model blew out Maidens 2 starts back, going 6.5 after an easy on the lead trip. Let's watch her first start against Winners. She was second this day. She prompted the pace on the outside. An Awesome Debate just ran away from her. You're going to see she's a black belt down on the rail. There wasn't a ton of closing going on. Makes me think that this pace was kind of slow and Risk Model just couldn't punch it in.
Yeah, that's how I looked at it too. There was just no passing going on in this race. That's not a huge excuse for Risk Model because she was right up on the pace with the winner. And you can see here, she's just no match for that horse. Listen, her win 2 starts back, I guess she ran fine in there, but it was a day where, the rail was the place to be. She got absolutely loose on the lead. And the horse who wound up third in there, Back Channel, who I think was 1-5, just completely failed to show up with anything. And so this horse just felt like she took advantage when she got that only win.
But she's a well-bred, lightly raced sort. She is paired up by her tops in her last 2, and we can expect her to improve for a good trainer. Dial Me Up is the 7. Let's watch Dial Me Up's first start off the Linda Rice claim. And boy, she had it her own way at 3-5 over a muddy track. These fractions are not fast at all. We're going to see Mind of Gold loom briefly before Dial Me Up understandably kicks away.
Yeah, had all the best of it here, but she did run. You're right that the runner up there did take a little bit of a shot at her. It really wasn't even close. This filly did take a step forward off of the Linda Rice claim last time. We'll see if she can keep it going.
She's a black belt, a relatively consistent horse. She's been on the board in her last 6 races. She was claimed 3 back. And let's take a look at the formulator fact for this barn. I guess this formulator fact will also work for her uncoupled stablemate, the number 2, Glass Ceiling. Past 3 years, Dirt Sprinters, allowances in Aqueduct, 31%, $4.07 ROI. We saw her in behind horses in the Risk Model race. All in all, it was a good trip that Trevor gave her. She saved ground in the pocket. But again, I think the pace situation worked against her, and she might get more while outside and in the clear this time.
She might. Maybe she was compromised by the way that race was run last time, and it was a step forward for her. I feel like she has improved since Cantor Massey claimed her. Her win 2 back didn't thrill me, but she did get the job done in there. And so it just feels like she keeps heading the right way. Maybe she'll take another step forward.
She really never seems to get a lot of attention at the window. So as we take a look at our top picks for the Thursday race of the day, I respect her consistency. And I think maybe, just maybe, she was compromised a little bit by the race flow last time out. So I'll take a chance with She's a Black Belt. I like where you're going, the 4 Elegant Zip, dirtied up by that wet track. Her form before that was really good.
Yeah, I'm hoping that that's a legit excuse for her last time. She just didn't really seem to pick up her feet. Prior to that, I liked her prior 2 races, and I do think she's a little bit underrated anyway, Dan. Again, I think she can bounce back and here at a price.
4528 for Mike, 8267 for me. It's the Thursday race of the day, the feature at Aqueduct. Good luck.